on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another football video. Today we're going to be doing my Premier League predictions for match day number 35 in the Premier League. Before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. Do let me know your predictions in the comments below. And finally, it's Football Shirt Friday, so you can go and put on your favourite Manchester City football shirts or whichever team you do go and support. And it's all in aid of a great cause. It's all for the Bobby Moore Fund, who are helping to raise awareness to save lives when it comes to bowel cancer. I've got my link in the description, so I would appreciate any donations going to the fund, which does go to help towards saving lives and raising awareness. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. I'm wearing one of my favourite Manchester City shirts, and it just so happens to be City's away shirt. I love the black and red colours, the AC Milan colours for Manchester City. One of my favourite kits is them colour combinations, and of course this shirt being the away shirt that saw Manchester City make history, win the treble, and also win our first ever Champions League trophy as well. One of my all-time favourites. So that's my story. Do let me know your favourite shirts, guys, in the comments below. Don't forget to put on your favourite football shirt today, April 26th, Football Shirt Friday. And as I said, do go and leave your donations in the description. Just press the link. That'll take you to the donation page and you can leave your donations on there. That would be much appreciated. And also, any money made off this video in terms from the ad revenue will be donated to the Bobby Moore Fund as well. So, on to my Premier League predictions for match day number 35. Didn't do predictions for match day number 34 as it was all a bit disjointed, as some teams were playing, some teams weren't, so it weren't a complete round. So we've not done a prediction since the 13th of April, which was match day number 33. I didn't have the best of performances, no correct scores, 4 correct results and 6 incorrect. Grading myself just 1 out of 10. So from there you had Newcastle taking on Spurs. They had that down as a 1-0 Newcastle win. That finished 4-0 to Newcastle. Brentford Sheffield United had it down as a 2-1 win for Brentford, finished 2-0. Burnley Brighton had that down as a 2-1 Brighton win, finished 1-1. City Luton had that down as a 3-0 City win. City won 5-1. Forest against Wolves had that down as a 2-1 win for Wolves, finished 2-2. Bournemouth against United had that down as a 2-0 Manchester United win, finished 2-2. On the Sunday, I had Liverpool 3-0 winners against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace pulled off one of the shocks of the season, winning 1-0 away at Anfield. West Ham Fulham had that down as a 1-0 West Ham win, finished 2-0 there to Fulham, a solid away win that for Fulham. And Arsenal against Aston Villa had that down as a 4-1 Arsenal win, and it finished 2-0 to Aston Villa. On the Monday, I had a 2-1 victory for Chelsea. That finished 6-0 to Chelsea. As I said, not the best of performances from me for Premier League match day number 33. Moving on to Premier League match day number 34, which happened last weekend, of course. FA Cup action meant that the fixture schedule was disrupted ever so slightly. So you had Luton taking on Brentford. That finished 5-1 to Brentford. Sheffield United against Burnley finished 4-1 to Burnley in a solid away win. And Burnley got an outside chance now of staying up. Sheffield United looking doomed. Wolves Arsenal finished 2-0 to Arsenal on the Sunday. You had 4 more games. Everton won 2-0 at home against Nottingham Forest. Solid win down at the bottom for Everton. Aston Villa won 3-1 at home against AFC Bournemouth. Crystal Palace won 5-2 at home against West Ham. And Fulham, they lost at home 3-1 to Liverpool, which has rounded up the Premier League match day number 34. We've had some games in hand happening since then. On Tuesday evening, Arsenal took on Chelsea. That finished 5-0 to Arsenal. On the Wednesday, you had Wolves taking on Bournemouth, finished 1-0 Bournemouth, solid away win that for Bournemouth. Crystal Palace against Newcastle finished 2-0 to Crystal Palace. Starting to find a bit of form now, Crystal Palace. Everton against Liverpool in the Merseyside derby finished 2-0 to Everton, and you'd think that may well be the end of Liverpool. They've got an outside chance of the Premier League trophy, but they're relying on both Arsenal and Manchester City to both be dropping points and then winning every game between now and the end of the season they're going to struggle. And Manchester United took on Sheffield United, which finished 4-2 to Manchester United, who managed to pick up the win just about in the end. And then last night you had Brighton taking on Manchester City, which finished 4-0 to Manchester City. So that does set things up very nicely now, because in terms of the top of the table, in first place you've got Arsenal from 34 games sitting on 77 points with 8 goal difference better than Manchester City, who are a point behind but do have that game in hand against Tottenham Hotspur in 2.5 weeks' time. Liverpool currently trailing Arsenal by 3 points with a worse goal difference. They're going to struggle to win the league from the position that they are in. They're relying on favours. But fixture list for both Arsenal, City and Liverpool can be quite tricky between now and the end of the season, so anything could happen. Down at the bottom, Nottingham Forest 1 point clear of Luton on 26 points from 34 games. Luton on 25 points from 34 games and 1 point away from safety. Burnley now 3 points away from safety on 23 points from 34 games. Sheffield United looking doomed, 10 points behind with 4 games left to play. This weekend could be the weekend that they are relegated. So, on to Premier League matchday number 35 and my predictions for Saturday, April 27th, with the early kickoff at 12:30 p.m. BST live on TNT Sports. You got West Ham taking on Liverpool. And West Ham just haven't been that good. They seem like they're already on the beach, they're already on their holiday. I'm going for a 2-1 Liverpool win and a needed 3 points for Liverpool at the top, and does put pressure onto Arsenal and onto Manchester City. A win for Liverpool sends them over Manchester City. A win for Liverpool sends them level on points with Arsenal, and Arsenal thinking, do you know what, there's no margin for error. We just can't simply afford to be dropping any more points. Into the 3 p.m's Fulham against Crystal Palace. Palace starting to find a bit of form. I think Fulham are going to use home advantage here. Narrow win for Fulham, going for a 2-1 victory there. For Fulham at Craven Cottage, Manchester United taking on Burnley. Man United just didn't look that convincing against Sheffield United. I think it's going to be a couple of late goals for Man United there against Burnley, going for a 2-0 Manchester United victory. Big result that down at the bottom of the table. And Burnley, Newcastle against Sheffield United, going for a 3-1 victory for Newcastle, and that will see Sheffield United relegated from the Premier League this weekend, according to my predictions. Wolves taking on Luton, going for a 3-0 Wolverhampton Wanderers win at Molineux there. Luton are needing points. They need to start scrambling points ASAP. Don't think it's going to happen. I think Wolves are going to win that game by 3-0 in the 5:30 p.m. BST kickoff time live on Sky Sports. You've got Everton taking on Brentford, going for another big Everton win there, 1-0 at home against Brentford, and that will be Everton's safe there. I think the final bottom 4 are going to be your bottom 4 come the end of the season. And finally at 8 p.m, live on TNT Sports, you've got Aston Villa taking on Chelsea, and I'm going for a 2-1 victory for Aston Villa as they're looking to try and beat off competition from Tottenham Hotspur for what is more than likely going to be the final Champions League spot, as it isn't looking likely that the Premier League are going to get given 5 Champions League spots rather than 4. Now moving on to Sunday's games, you've got 3 games at 2 p.m. You've got South Coast Derby, AFC Bournemouth taking on Brighton, going for a 1-1 draw. Didn't really know which way to go for this one. I'm not sure, so I've sat on the fence and gone with a score draw and gone with a 1-1 draw there between Bournemouth and Brighton. In terms of the North London derby, you got Tottenham Hotspur taking on Arsenal, and I can see Spurs doing something against Arsenal. Spurs need to win this game, really, if they are to try and make the top 4. A win for Villa and a loss for Spurs this weekend, and it's near enough done and dusted when it comes to Champions League football for Spurs next season. So it's a huge game for Spurs. It's a must-win game for Spurs. It's a must-win game for Arsenal. So something does have to give. And with Spurs having the home advantage, they need to make that home advantage count. And with me being a City fan, I have to presume that Arsenal's going to win every game between now and the end of the season. So I'm sticking with that and going with a 2-1 Arsenal win. It could equally be a good result here for Spurs, and Spurs win the North London derby. But I'm going 2-1 Arsenal for this game. I could be wrong. That's at 2 p.m, by the way, live on Sky Sports. And the final game of Premier League matchday number 35, you've got Nottingham Forest taking on Manchester City. Again, another huge game down at the bottom for Nottingham Forest, and a big game at the top for Manchester City. City going last out of the 3 teams at the top, kicking off at 4:30 p.m. BST live on Sky Sports, and I'm going for a narrow Manchester City win. It looks like they're not looking as tired going off that performance against Brighton. Manchester City are going to have to do a little bit of rotation. They're no longer in the Champions League. They get a week off from here, which is not something you often get when you are Manchester City at the business end of the season. So it's all about getting over this game. We've got over the hurdle of Brighton away and won that game comfortably and did a really good performance. We need to do the same here. It's a game that we dropped points in last season. So Manchester City need to be clinical, need to be on it. And if we can win this game, it's another big step towards potentially Manchester City winning the Premier League title. But the margins are very fine. It's a big weekend. I wouldn't be surprised to see one of Liverpool, Arsenal or Manchester City drop some points this weekend. So if that is to happen, who's it going to be? Do let me know in the comments below. I think just looking at the fixtures, the safest bet would be Arsenal dropping points in that North London derby away at Spurs. It's a very difficult game, but West Ham away, Forest away for Liverpool and for Manchester City. They're not easy games, 3 away matches. Potentially I can see somebody dropping points this weekend. Who's it going to be? I'm not too sure. I think the Premier League title race may take another twist and another turn just this weekend, and I think there's plenty more opportunities for more twists and turns as well. Very exciting. So guys, do let me know your predictions in the comments below. Do leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. Subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And do go and check out the Bobby Moore Fund. Link is in the description. Remember, we're helping to support here on the JSGC channel Football Shirt Friday, which is today, to help raise awareness for bowel cancer and to also try and push towards finding a cure for such a horrible disease. So any help towards donations will be much appreciated. As I said, any money that's generated on today's video will be donated by myself, along with an extra couple of funds from me as well, donated to an absolutely brilliant cause. So do go and check it out and do go and join in on Football Shirt Friday. Wear your favourite football shirt, whether you're a City fan or not. Let me know what your favourite shirt is in the comments below, and I'll see you all again real soon for the next video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.